try to finish. Uh,
Yes, so welcome back to Springfield College. We're not coming back.
Ever coming back.
Never coming back. I actually have a fear about coming back to Springfield because I feel like they're gonna, throw some fucking late fees at me if I come back.
I feel like if I went back, it would just be to use the gym.
Honestly, like I actually like the gym there. It was actually really nice.
Yeah,
It has a nice setup.
like as much crap as we gave. See, the wellness center wasn't bad for like the setup really. It was just the people that were using the wellness center that really were terrible. And the rule with no shoes. I mean, come on, man.
I still remember how I got shit for that. That one time I was just gonna deadlift, man. They were like, I've never, it was always that same thing that you told me about, like the elder guy, like coming up to me, I think like two times, and then eventually even had the people working there come up to me and, tell her like, no, you need to have shoes on. But it's like, I don't understand. Like, it's like I'm walking around everywhere without shoes. I'm just standing in this one little spot. Like, is that really
Yeah.
that, bad for you? Like, just, what the heck, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the next time they did it to me, I was gonna ask them if I could like sign a waiver so that I could just wear just socks and like be okay with it. But like that dude, one, that guy who like kept yelling at people about the shoes, like he came in with like what did he do? He came in like one year like we left my junior year, and he came back this year and just had a huge like cut like right down his eye. I was like, whoa, what is that
Jeez.
from? And it looked like fresh. Like it had just like scabbed over, like it wasn't a scar.
Damn, dude.
Um, and he said something to, maybe it was to you. Maybe it was to
No,
Zach. I don't
it was
remember
probably,
who,
it's probably Zach, because I don't remember seeing him with like a scar like that.
but
So,
I was in the wellness center once and he yelled at some kid for not wearing shoes. Maybe he was just talking. I don't even know what context this was in, but like he said something about like
uh,
how he had to like drive a kid to the ER because the kid like dropped a dumbbell on his foot or something and like broke his toe. I don't even remember. It was just like, and I was like, oh, that's why he hates kids who don't wear shoes. He doesn't want to drive them to the ER,
I guess that's fair enough after all.
which is like pretty much Springfield College in a nutshell.
True as well, I guess. Yeah, it's but yeah. I honestly, I feel again, like I feel like they should have like everyone just like sign a waiver. First day if you want to use the gym, that's like, or actually if you want to use it, just wearing socks, that you can have you have the opportunity to sign a waiver that if something happens that it's you're not gonna sue Springfield College for it because again like you can decide yourself. So I feel that should be an option. It just makes life easier. Then you don't have to have this dude walking around and as like ease life out for him a bit, so he doesn't have to fucking sit there like a hawk, watching everybody.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, if we
Uh,
had to like e-sign a waiver, because we have to e-sign like a housing contract, um,
yeah, true.
and a bunch of other stuff that I really don't remember. But like, if we could just sign like a wellness center waiver too, life would be fantastic.
Damn it. But actually, so what are you doing now then? Are you gonna come back after the internship? Like, are you graduating or like what's going on with you,
Uh,
man?
no, I'm not coming back because basically, so the new job starts April. Uh, let's see, let's open up this calendar here. Um, oh boy, let's see, April 13th, which is about one, two, three, about 3 weeks from now. And then basically from from the calendar I got, I'm down here until like June, like the second week of June or third week of June.
Hmm.
and then I'll have like a month off where I will go back for that month, and then come back down um, to do training camp and the season.
But I don't get it. So, but have they said anything about you guys about graduating? Like, is that gonna happen, or is it like just no ceremony, or like, is
I
there?
don't know.
Damn, dude, that's just wow, just wow.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. But yeah, I don't know. My original plan was to not go to graduation anyways.
Well,
So
yeah. So it doesn't really hurt you that much.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big ceremony guy.
Yeah, neither am I, to be honest. I don't really like that.
Um, but yeah, is our wonderful sometimes third co-host Kyle Kusan going to graduate this semester? Or does he have another year or something like that left?
I don't actually. That's a really good question. I have no idea, to be honest.
It seems like he has another little bit left if he has to do an internship.
I
Because
think so. Yeah. Yeah.
he already did a Train for Life, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, though, I think what he was planning on doing was like, yeah, he was actually planning on doing it during the summer, so because kind of like I did, because I still graduated and did my internship during the summer.
Oh, okay.
I think he was thinking about doing the same thing, so I think he should be graduating, but I don't really know for sure, to be honest.
Okay.
So that's like,
Because
but
he, man, it's still shout out to Train for Life for having literally the nicest waiting area I've ever seen in the gym. Like very nice, like painted wood floor. Um, what else was there? It was like a nice painted wood floor. It was like a beautiful desk, and then like the gym, which was actually a nice gym.
I've never
So,
been there actually. I've never been there, but I've heard a lot of stories.
oh man,
Uh,
R.I.P. to Clayton Lent. Am I right?
Actually, what happened to that man? What's happened to Clay? Like, do you talk to him still?
Um, yeah, like he's doing well. We should get him on the podcast, to
We
be
should
honest.
actually get him on the. Because things like I spoke to him. I wrote him happy birthday, I believe, or yeah, I wrote him happy birthday. Like, how's it going? And then he responds to me. I think like 2 months, 2.5 months afterwards. He's like, "Oh, sorry for the late reply," but I'm like, "Yeah, it's all right, man." I like
What did you text him on?
Instagram.
Yeah, he just like never looks at Instagram.
But what
He
is he
he
used to?
he is by far the most removed individual from social media I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can kind of imagine that because I wrote to him. Oh yeah, I wrote to him on the 1st of December, and then he replies to me the 26th of February. So basically, almost 3 months. Actually, but yeah, almost 3 months. Like I'm like, dude, what the
Oh, I
actual
love
fuck,
that
man?
kid. Oh man.
Insane.
He and I like he and I have some fantastic stories that are just not mine to tell. Um, to be honest. So
Yo, man, the man's a fucking fool. He's I have no comments for that man at all. So I just zero respect, man. Zero respect. By the way, I have to say, like what was it, 335 double from the summer you posted Instagram? So,
315.
solid work, man. Really solid work.
Thank you. I
If you
missed
have,
the third rep really aggressively in the full video.
yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely go check out Declan's Instagram. You know,
It just looks ridiculous. It's like the first rep was like not even real, and I was like, I'm gonna hit this for 5.
yeah. Also, the first rep actually goes really good, man. Here we go. That's the second one. Yeah,
Like, but you could
but
like it looks like you could hit a third rep,
yeah,
after,
it actually does do, man.
and I got
But
pinned. I think I just got really excited and like misgrooved it or something, and like I got it to like my classic sticking point, and then just like died.
yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I'm still chasing that 225 on bench.
Dude, I hate you so much. Clay can bench 225 on bench.
No, but the thing is, like, I've noticed that's like my weak point has always been bench. Like I've always been shit at bench. Like I've never been good. But actually, like, I actually gotten better at it now because I've also learned how to properly bench, how to actually use to my feet to drive as well. Because I've usually just I didn't know what the fuck to do with my feet, but now I've been playing with it. I kind of know how to do it. So I think now I could actually do 225. I could even maybe do 230, but I'm not gonna go and hype myself up too much. Because I told myself after mass, I was like, I'm gonna deadlift 500. I didn't even get close to 500. I got like 440. It was not even close to 500. I was like, I think I was doing 420. Like I had done like 415 like the previous like was the best, and I was like doing like 420 or 425, and I'm like, yeah, this is not gonna go to 500. Like I'm struggling right now here. It was like, it was awful, man. It was like one of the
Oh,
most.
man.
I actually even fucked up my back a bit when I got to like 440. Like I could feel at the top, this sort of like, like it wasn't that bad, but it felt for a day or two.
After Mass 2, you'll probably have 500.
I doubt it. I think I can get up to maybe 460 would be something, but I don't even think that.
I mean, I'm
I,
gonna deadlift like 655 after Mass 2, maybe.
I just want to
Oh
bench
yeah.
I just want to bench over 225. That's my hope after mass. And I actually think because I should be able to, because right now I remember doing like during phase two, like the 2040, I was doing what is it in fucking pounds? Actually, even the stim day. Remember how we did it in Springfield? Like we are doing like the 3 times
Oh
15.
yeah.
I was doing because like I was struggling to get one 135 for 15 like 3 times, and then I remember doing it at like 155 for 3 times. So like I'm like, okay, if I can do this like like 155, I should be able to fucking do 225 by end of mass. It should happen. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna quit my job as a male.
Yeah, you should. I managed to hit 225 for I think 13 or something like that in the last stim day I had. I don't remember what it was.
You're a dickhead, man. You're a
I
fucking.
was like, I was just like so close. And actually, here's kind of like a funny story about Mass 2.
Oh god.
So I'm just gonna find my stim day number. That's triphasic day. I also input that as the wrong person. That's fine. Um, oh, here we are. Yeah, I hit 225 for 12. Unfortunately, I was so close to 15, but
Jeez, man.
whatever. So me and a coworker at Cressy's, like, so he was like, I was talking to another intern about Mass 1. I was like, you should just do Mass 1 because like it gets you huge. And he was like, well, I'm like, duh, 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 duh. I'm like, no, just fucking do Mass 1, please. And he has been. Um, so he's like skipped out the last week, and then the week before this past week, he only did like 3 days of it. So he's done. He's done. He's out. Um,
Oh god.
but so one of my coworkers overhears this and is like, "Oh my god, dude! Like, I've been really considering doing Mass 2." I was like, "Yeah, like that would be really fun. Like, I really want to do Mass 2. I just haven't trained with someone in so long, you know."
Mm,
So I was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, like, how about we do Mass 2 together? Like, that'd be really fun." Like, we were talking about like his numbers versus my numbers, and like, like I squat way more than he does and I deadlift way more than he does, but we bench about the same.
Mm.
I was like, good enough, good enough. Let's do this. And so, um, we're texting about it and trying to figure out when we can come in to train. And I come in that Monday morning and I rip phase 1 30 and I use like, I don't know, like 235 on the deadlift, right?
Mm.
Like nothing crazy, just like
No.
whatever.
Yeah,
And and then he comes in, he sees me like dying on the ground, I didn't come close to finishing it. And
Mm.
he's like, "Oh man, I can't wait to do that later today." I'm like, "Yeah, man, get in there." So then later that day, he comes in, right? And he's on like his break or whatever. So he comes out of his office in his workout gear and he starts warming up. He does, the foam rolling, the stretching, the movement prep, whatever. And then he loads the deadlift bar to like 315. I was like, holy shit. Either he is about to get absolutely decimated by this, or he's way stronger than I am and was jerking me when we were talking about our numbers. And it turns out that he just like has no concept of what like 15 reps should feel like. And
Mm.
he just got absolutely housed by this. He got through one round of the 30-30. And I look over and he's just like leaning against a bench, just like like struggling to stand up. And then after probably like 5 minutes of sitting there, he tries to do another round and he makes it through like three exercises, goes back to the bench, just sits down, looks like pale, like he's about to throw up. And like the rest of the day, he's like no, I just don't feel good. And then after that, like so then, the next day I'm like, all right, Derek, like you ready for triphasic day? And he's like, nah, man, I'm out. I'm not doing mass two anymore. So this man quit. He quit after literally 15 minutes of exercise.
Oh my God, dude.
He quit after one and like a third sets of mass two.
No, but honestly, I feel like 330 will do that to you because you don't think how awful it actually is. Like, like you said, man, if you don't really know, because like 15 reps, the first round should be pretty easy. Like you should not, because I feel like if you after the 315, like just
Yeah,
like those 15 reps, I would be dead. I would not be able to do
right.
the rest of the
Yeah,
exercises. So it's like it should be like the first round should feel pretty light, because like the around round three, like you're gonna be dying. Like you're not
yeah.
gonna be making
Well,
up.
like you did that to me this summer because
Yeah.
like you were doing mass one this summer and like I didn't really remember my experience that well. So I was like, I didn't remember my numbers. So I was like, hey, and I just did every Friday. I would do like the 30-30 for a few weeks and then the 20-40 for a few weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, hey, what did you hit for, like, what number increase did you hit for the 20-40? And I was using like 245 for the 30-30s on deads.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you were like, yeah, like I went way too light. And you said like you would use like 275 or something like that.
Yeah, like
I don't
yeah,
I
I
don't remember what she would use, but like, and I was like,
it's
oh, like, and I'm way stronger than Artem is, so like, it's time to really hit this up. And like, so I decided to use like, I don't even remember, like 335 or like 365, just like something just stupid. And like, I remember like not making it out of round four in the 20-40. Like, I think I zeroed round five and six. Like, I physically couldn't do it.
Joe, but to make you maybe feel a bit better, like right now during Mass 2, I think the first week when I did the 2040, I couldn't make it the last round. It was just not happening. I threw up again. The amount of times I've thrown up is just insane, like during Mass. I think like during Mass, like both Mass 1 and Mass 2, it's been a total of maybe 6 or 7 times I've thrown up, which is a lot actually when you think about it. Like it
Yeah,
shouldn't be happening that much, man. But it's like, honestly, it comes down to me just not recovering well and just kind of going in the morning, for example, or eating really badly and then just going and kind of like almost like a still full stomach
yeah. I
and
mean,
working out.
like,
So it's my own fault to be honest.
yeah. I mean, the I had never thrown up from a 30-30 before, And then phase one of mass two, like the first workout, I was like, I'm gonna throw up, and like, I mean, the issue is that like I don't have a key to Cressy's right now, so
Ah.
I had to go. I have to go whenever someone is there, and so I showed up when the internship coordinator was there,
Mm.
and he just works out in the mornings normally, and he he was there, and like the last exercise I did was like a cable row,
Mm, mm, mm.
and and I just like I did like a seated cable row, finished the 15 of the last round, and just like collapsed, like just fell.
Yeah,
And
dude,
he
that's
he
how
like
it is.
and he like came over to check on me to make sure I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm totally fine, like I'm dying in a puddle, but like I'm fine. And he had done mass one, so he like knew what was up. And then like a few minutes later, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna throw up because I sat up way too fast and like
Yeah.
stood up even quicker. I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw up. And so I just like took my mouth guard out and just like I had to like it's like you ever like had to calmly walk to the bathroom, like you're in the middle, like you sit down in class because you're like late and you're just like I really need to poop, and
Yeah.
then but then you just like have to like calmly walk to the bathroom instead of like running, even though you need to run. Um,
Dude.
like
Yeah.
so like that's basically what I did was like stood up and was like I'm gonna vomit in the next 10 seconds and just like stood up and like calmly walked to the bathroom and then just like got in the bathroom like collapsed and just like hurled. And then the second time I threw up during the phase was because it was my birthday the day before.
Oh
Like I'm
god.
not gonna eat garbage on my birthday, so that all came up.
Yeah. I can imagine, dude, man. Shit. That's awful, man. That is really awful. But the thing is also like what I think is a really smart thing to do is to because I feel like having a day in between, like in the first phase, like between 30 and triphasic, have a day to recover. Because like swear to God, doing it right, like say you do 30 on Monday and you do triphasic the next day, shit, like the fuck, especially the phase where like the eccentrics, they get to you, man. Like your legs are done cooking, and like then it's like bench, it's like it's just you can do it, but
I
it doesn't feel the best.
I have been really liking doing the 30-30 right into triphasic day. Like just Monday, Tuesday, like and then I will say this though, like Wednesday it all hits me and like I wake up and I'm like this is weird. I don't really feel like that sore. I'm really not that tired. And then I go to the gym and someone's like, "Hey, can you help me like load this bar?" And I like pick up a 45. I'm like, "Oh god, now I feel it." And
Yeah.
then that day, I'm like, "All right, like time to do the stim day." And then I just get like my numbers on the stim day have been horrendous. I mean,
But
like
in a
stim
good
day
way,
is
in a good way or a bad way?
bad way. Like stim day has just like crushed me day after day. Like the 15
Honestly,
the 15 reps are just not my friend.
dude, honestly, I started off, I kind of underestimated myself in the beginning. I kind of been growing there, but right now, during like the last 2 weeks of phase two and now phase three, it's actually fucking me over because then I go into Cajun the next day and I'm like, no, this is just like I feel like complete shit. Like I could like bench, my triceps are killing me. I can't use, there's no way I'm putting this up. Fucking squat, it's not happening either, man. Like nothing. I'm just, so that's kind of what I'm
Yeah,
thinking. I need to have like a day in between uh, the stim day and Cajun at the moment, but because the gyms are closed and I can only work out at my work and they're only open from Monday to Friday, I kind of have to, when I was doing like Thursday, Friday, I can't go on a Saturday or Sunday, so I'm kind of fucked in that sense.
yeah, I do. Um, yeah, I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday for the four
What
days.
you do Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, And like that's what I mean. Like stim day is like really hard.
Fuck yeah, it is hard, man. If you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, why don't you take
Yeah,
like Wednesday, rest and then do stim day on Thursday?
because I really enjoy it. Like the Cajun is my favorite workout that I think I've ever done so far.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
I might.
like I don't know. I'm like a really weird responder to exercise. Like I don't really get super sore after I don't really get super sore like
Yeah.
ever. And I recover like decently well from exercise. But like trying to push like really high rep stuff is where I get like kind of crushed. So I don't know.
I might have to try that because the way fucking Cajun phase 3 has been going, and even like during phase 2, I might, because I need that day in between, like the Thursday, how you're doing it. So I might have to do the same thing because like it's awful otherwise. Like I'm done. Because even like yesterday when I was doing it, I think I took like 20 minutes to mentally prepare myself and just started like kind of slapping myself like let's just fucking do
Yeah.
it. It's 3 rounds, man. I just fucking get through it. And but then it's like once you're in it, like right before round 3, you're like yeah, like this is awful. Like cause you literally feel like you're gonna collapse. Like the body's just aching and everything just. So that's like I really look forward to this being done. I really want this
Yeah.
to be done because every time I go to the gym, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Stop it. Just stop it. You
I'm
know.
having so much fun.
I had fun. I had fun until right now, phase 3. Phase 3 is when it's just like hit me now, like these past 2 weeks, I was just like, I hate this. I had fun until that. I hate this now. I literally hate it so much. It's ridiculous, man. But
I
here
just
we
like
are.
I can't wait for phase 3 and 4. They're just gonna be so much fun.
Ah, man, I kind of want phase 4 to come around like soon as possible, but I think that's gonna be even worse, to be honest.
Nah, phase 4, like the A day and the B day are gonna be so much fun. I just like
No, but the thing is, like week 4, for example, it's what is it? It's 10 sets of one at 95%. Like that's 10 sets, fam. Like fuck me.
yeah, I don't even know what 90. I'm gonna do math right now to figure out what 95% is.
Like for me, I'm gonna see as well, man.
I'm gonna be deadlifting 570.
Jesus Christ. But that's what I mean, dude. It's like fucked. Cause like for squats,
Yeah,
I would
back squatting 450.
450.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna be back squatting 315. That's
I'll probably be benching like 315.
you're benching when I'm squatting. That's just ridiculous, man. Dude, for
Yeah,
benching, I'm gonna be doing. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing like 215 for benching.
with 90 seconds rest in between.
I'm telling you, man. Like again, like 10 sets, 10
Yeah,
fucking sets. Like
yeah.
I
So
think from like set number 5 and forward is when it's really gonna hit you, and you're just like,
yeah,
oh god.
have you? I mean, oh man, this is gonna get me a shameless plug too. But do you go on Rebel Performance at all?
Here and there, not that often, to be honest.
Okay, it's an old article at this point. Hold on, let me find it. It's awesome. Like it's like maybe it's this. It's a great article. Um, let me see here. Energy systems. This might be fun. I don't know. So it's one of Davidson's um,
Ah,
articles from like
yeah.
2016,
Okay, I know which one you're talking
and
about.
I think it's called Hormones in Training: What You Need to Know. And he basically just goes in on the whole like hormones, and this is what they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and yeah, okay, all right, this is it. So this is so like if you're not aware, testosterone release is basically optimal at about 85% plus of 1 RM. And as well, I believe it responds much better to shorter rest periods. So as much load as you can accumulate in a short amount of time at 85 plus percent. And so this is part of it. So okay, this is his article. What he says: in the past, I have devised blocks that have been testosterone specific blocks. One such block features a 3-week buildup. I would pair compound exercises such as front squat and bench press A day, and deadlift and incline bench press B day. 50 seconds of rest would exist between the two exercises. Week 1 would feature 6 sets of 3 reps performed at 85% 1 RM. Week 2 would feature 8 sets of 2 at 88% 1 RM. Week 3 would feature 12 sets of 1 at 92% 1 RM. Structure the training week could be variable, but generally speaking, you want to get at least 3 training sessions in per week, preferably 4.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. It's just messed up.
Which is basically exactly what Mass 2's final phase is.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing, man. Because honestly, like, I remember during Mass 1, what is it? I think it was phase 3. It's like staring down the gun or something like that. Staring down the
yeah.
barrel. Like that, the whole thing, like with the pyramid, like where you kind of go 85, no, 80,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like you kind of go like 75, 80, 85, 80, 90, 75, 80, and so that. Like that thing was awful as well, man. Because like the short rest, you had like 45 seconds in between. I think you were gonna aiming for like 5 or 6 reps or something. Like, dude,
Yeah.
fucking A, man.
Dude.
But,
Yeah, wasn't it fucking nuts? I loved
dude,
it.
that's the thing too. It's like I loved it. That's the really messed up part about it, because I kind of hated it, but I also loved it. I feel the same way about the Deuce. Like right now in phase 3, where it's like I hate it, but like the pump you feel is like it's incredible. You just feel so fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like especially your arms, man. You just like it's like they're gonna explode. Like you just oh man.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, dude. It's just I don't know, man. It's fucked, man. It's so fucked up. God damn.
So like the testosterone block, I'm just like I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get that freaking 5-1 alpha reductase, baby. Or just go with DHT, yeah. Woo. Anyway. DHT receptors aren't existent in muscle. Anyways, what are we talking about?
Uh, Actually, well, this is kind of like a good lead wave to it. So now that the gyms are closed, since yours is also closed for 10 days, do you have any workout tips for us, individuals at home? Any water bottle workouts you can recommend?
You know, no. I would do push-ups, body weight squats, some jumps, some split squats, some reverse lunges, some forward lunges, not lateral lunges.
How about
Any
wait? How about the what's it called? The 3D lunges or some shit like that? Like what's it called?
oh
Where you kind of go across or something like that. Fuck is it called, man?
yeah, you can do that to warm up.
Okay.
I'd get outside though. I'd run because no one's like been ordered to stay inside their home yet, except for like Illinois and California.
Mm.
Out here, I don't know about you guys.
What are you doing? Slime!
Yeah,
Anyways,
we're gonna have to excuse for that interruption.
and so if you haven't been ordered to stay inside, I think running is a great one. Some tempo runs, some sprinting. You could jump outside. You could, I don't know, just a lot of stuff, and I think that'll help.
You know what I would say for people? Like they should have foreseen this and bought a pair of gymnastic rings. Take those bitches, hang them outside of your tree. Voila. Get your upper body going. Get a solid pump and then come back inside. Actually, then, like you said, jumping, running, squats. Basically, I feel like I saw this meme about this. I think we're all gonna come out After this, like looking, it's gonna be like a prison workout. We're gonna come out like us, we've been in prison like the prisoners, like really jacked
Yeah,
up, kind of like 50 Cent looked like in that music video.
yeah, a
Or
little
something
bit.
like that. Yeah, that's how we're gonna all look, man. I'm fine with that. I like that. I like that very much. So the one thing also I'm gonna say is like we're also gonna come out looking like Declan because no one can go to their barber. So
That's true.
yeah, so we're all just gonna go.
Yeah,
We're just gonna let the hair grow, man.
I just like literally, I was like, all right, I'll get a haircut next week, and then this week came, and everyone's like, yep, we're closing down. Like, God damn it.
Oh man. Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about either just buzzing myself or just letting it grow. Like
I
we'll s
I am really considering buying some clippers.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that as well. About
Like,
we'll
I
see,
think
man.
I might just pull the old Clayland. Just
Yeah, that's that's what I mean, though. Like if I have to come to that, but we'll see, we'll see.
God, I hope it doesn't come to that.
I hope so too, but we'll fucking see, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Only
But
God
people are like
knows.
commenting on it a lot. They're like, "Oh, it's growing out." I'm like, "Yep, I know, I know. I can't really do anything about it either." So
Yeah, dude. Like, but honestly, just embrace it. That's what I'm gonna say. It's all about embracing it.
I mean, as long as I don't look super caveman and homeless-ish, then I'm okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, because like you have a trimmer, so you can always just fix the beard, kind of keep that in shape. So
Yeah, I mean, I have a razor, so it's just like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
beard's gonna be fine.
So I think like as long as it doesn't grow out here and here, just I think it's fine if it just grows either here or here. So either you go over there or you go here. It's like, or you can do both. That works as well, But then you might look like Johnny Sins, and I don't know if you want that.
Maybe.
So
Why did you just reference a porn star?
I don't know, because you guys are pretty similarly built. So if you shave your head, you kind of would look like him.
I will say the only reason I know who that dude is because there's like a random YouTube video that popped into my suggestions that I think popped into everyone's suggestions. It was just like Q&A with a porn star. He's just like, "Hey, I'm Johnny Sins. What's up?" And he like answers people's questions as he like goes about his day, which is really just like chilling in his mansion and getting tests for STDs. And that's his whole day.
What a great life, man.
Yeah, I mean, like when you go down the rabbit holes of like interviews, like the Hot Ones interviews, which are just great, by the way. Um, you discover like things like that because YouTube's like, oh, he's in interviews, and then boom, Johnny Sins pops up.
Dang, that's Damn. That's the thing too about the internet, man. It's ridiculous how you can just find yourself in like that. You search for one thing and then they're like, oh, but how about this? You're like, no,
Yeah,
not really. Thank you though. And, I don't know. I still think though, the Jocko workout, 2-minute burpees in the morning. That's your workout for the day, man. You don't need to do. And in the middle of it, like you're kind of 1 minute in, take off your shirt, keep going, because that's what you do when you do burpees. You take off your
you
shirt.
know what? Let's go on the Instagram. All right, let's see what Jocko Willink is actually doing today. Let's see here, Jocko.
I think he's actually doing like actually proper things
Well,
though.
because he has like in a home gym.
Yeah.
All right, he was up at 4:32 this morning, and he did something with with like those Russian. I think they're Russian bags. I don't
Are
really
they
know.
called Russian bags?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
think.
it's
Yeah.
called,
I just call them
but
like wrestling bags or some shit. I don't even
yeah,
know.
I'm only familiar with um, them from like wrestling workouts. So,
Yeah.
oh,
But see, he also has gymnastic rings, man. Man knows what's up.
I think he could even go with less of a rig.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, in times of this, in times like this, having your own gym is the thing to do, man.
Yeah, why I miss my home.
Yeah, dude, I miss my home as well, which is your arms.
I miss my home as well, which is not your arms. Yeah, I mean, this has been a fantastic podcast so far.
I
We've
think so.
talked about nothing.
No, we've talked about mass. We've talked about, home workouts. We talked about Springfield, kind of just the gym and waivers.
Speaking of Springfield, when are we gonna put up Kyle's podcast, if ever?
Which which one of them?
The second one.
Dude,
both really devolved into absolutely shitting on Springfield College and its professors. So
that's the thing. That's kind of why I've not really been putting it up because I'm like waiting with them. This is like, should I not? Like, I don't know. Like, if the world just goes under, I just might do it, so that the aliens can have to listen, decipher, and like, know that Springfield College is the shit. It's the place to go.
yeah, I don't know. Patrick Davidson. That's all I have to say.
Dude, all I have to say is Kyle Kusan.
I agree. I think that
Man of the
everyone should do
people.
mass too.
Dude, I think everybody should do an internship at Mike Boyle's strength conditioning.
All right. Okay. All right.
That's what I think. I think that's like the best thing to do, to be honest.
Here's the thing. As much as we absolutely shit on Mike Boyle strength conditioning,
We don't.
well, we do. I do.
Yeah.
The thing is like he doesn't do it to himself, but he does try to do it to himself sometimes. Yeah, he does try to do it to himself sometimes, doesn't he? But the thing is that I think every coach needs an experience like that where it's just like, you're on the floor from whenever they open until whenever they close, and you see, like 100 clients a day, and you get, a bunch of coaching reps a day. Because if you really enjoy, standing on the floor and not being paid for, 8 to 12 hours a day, like, imagine what that's going to feel like when you get to program, get paid, like get breaks during the day.
Do they exist?
No. But, like imagine what that feels like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you have maybe even your own team, right? Like, where you have your own teams that you're responsible for, like, like imagine what that's going to feel like.
Yeah, it's a good point, man. It's a good point, I guess.
So,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still not that much of a fan of him, but I get what you mean.
it's like, to be honest, like I think it's kind of like I think that like it's just a good experience, like I
Yeah.
don't really like him that much, but like I think that amount of coaching, like you just are almost like forced to do it better.
No, I totally agree. I think that's like the most important thing as well with an internship. I think that it's like, sure, it's good to go somewhere where, the people are very knowledgeable and stuff as well. But I think at the same time, the effect in the beginning is just about, like you were saying, like the reps, like getting those in and kind of just
Yeah.
becoming better at speaking to people and like how you talk to them and explain the exercise. I think so. It doesn't really, that kind of, you can do that almost anywhere. But at the same time, the effects, some places, they're a bit more, they hold you back a bit more. They don't let you just, because like, for example, if I'm to compare my two internships, like the one I did here, literally like day one, I show up at 7 a.m. and he's like working with a client, and then he takes her into the treatment room, and this other dude comes in, he's like, oh, like do something with, like, do some dynamic mobility with him. And I'm like, what? I literally just showed up like 10 minutes ago. I literally just changed clothes and you want me to do dynamic mobility. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you do here with these people. Because like he knows, like, it's not the first time the dude comes in. So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So it's just, but it's like at the same time, like kind of looking back at it, it's just like straight into it. And it's like you have to really work on reading off people when they walk in, like
Yeah,
how do you treat them, like how you're gonna talk to them
yeah,
and stuff like that. What you're gonna do. So I think that's also a good thing, and you learn much quicker that way than just sitting and observing and kind of like that.
yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I will say this, like, yeah, fuck it. Exos like does that though. Apparently, like it's
Mhm.
like they break their internship up into like 4 months, which is pretty standard like internship time, like about like it's 3 to 4 months, and the first month is observation, like you just observe. The second month is echoing coaching cues. The third month is observed coaching. So like you're getting observed while you coach.
Mm.
The fourth month is unobserved coaching. So it takes you 4 months to get to being just like hands off, like do you, like at an internship. But the first month is just standing there watching.
That's what I mean, man. Like it's just like it has its benefits of doing that, but at the same time, I don't know if I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, I mean that just sounds terrible to me.
Yeah, a whole like a month, like okay, I get it, a week, max two,
Right,
but a
right,
month though, that's way
right.
too much, man.
I mean, and like, but I had a similar experience at Gain. Um, like my first day, like I walked in and Justin wasn't even fucking there. Like the owner like wasn't even there. My first day, he
Oh my.
walked in like 2 hours after I got there, and he he like comes in, he like says hi to a bunch of people, like shakes my hand, is like, "All right, how you doing today?" I'm like, "You know what? I'm doing pretty good. I have no idea what the hell's going on," and he's like, what does he say? He's just like, "Yeah, well, we're talking and I meet like the two other coaches that are there, um, and I think you met Alex, who's like the short kid with the long
Yeah,
hair. And
yeah.
he was there, and like he's extremely standoffish at first. Like when you first get to know him, like you just are like so taken
Yeah.
aback. So I had to do like the first like hour and a half, 2 hours with him. So I was like, I'm not gonna ask that guy fucking anything. And so I'm just like walking around, like introducing myself to clients, like talking to them or whatever, and then like Justin gets there, and like 5 minutes into him being there, he just like looks at me. He's like, "How's your Turkish getup?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I suck at Turkish getups, but okay." And then he's like, "All right, coach this guy through a Turkish getup." And I'm like, "Okay." And it's like kind of funny because like you just like know how to coach through a Turkish getup, but like like is it okay with like whoever you're interning with? It's like
Mhm.
is all you're thinking about.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's the thing, man.
um, so that was like by far my favorite thing in terms of like both the Thunderbirds and Iron Sports. Because like Iron Sports, I could coach everyone however I wanted to coach them, and like no one was like standing there like, "You doing that right?" It was just like me doing things.
Yeah, but I think that's just a thing too. I feel like if you are, like, say, like you go to Mike Boyle and then
Mm.
he sees you coaching a way that maybe it's like different from the way he would do it. I would say like you don't really go in and look at that because the thing is like you should coach the way that you want to coach, and then like people can
Yeah,
have an opinion, but they shouldn't tell you how to coach. They can say like what they think about it, but they shouldn't also force you to change it. Because
hmm,
again, it's like kind of you as a person, you're kind of expressing. So it's like not everybody's gonna like it.
yeah,
Not everybody's gonna hate it as well. So it's because I think too. I notice with like
yeah,
right now when I have like group sessions or anything like that, it's like when it's like some people don't like. For example, I have them. I remember like one time I had them do 12 minutes, and it was I think like four exercises, and to do like as many reps as possible. Basically, in 12 minutes is like four exercises, and it's like and like some people loved it, and some people like 12 minutes is kind of a long time. It gets kind of boring. I think someone used, but I'm
yeah,
like everybody's different. Like some people like to kind of push themselves and like really see how far
yeah,
they can go in those 12 minutes. Others they kind of have to afford it. Like, oh, this is like it's not as much fun. So it's very. So that's kind of where I'm just like I feel like you can't really please everyone, man. Just you kind of have
Yeah, I
to
agree.
do your thing, man. Do your
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, yeah, just like I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Something about coaching.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm even kind of that way right now at Cressy's. Is like I try to go like this is good enough. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
now let's like attack like whatever underlying like movement quality we're like trying to get. And like one of the coaches like just discovered Bill Hartman, which so like everything right now with him is like about like dorsal rostral expansion and like trying. I'm like, dude, fuck. Like a deadlift shouldn't be about dorsal rostral expansion. It should be about moving weight. Because what are we trying to do? Like we're either trying to improve like force into the ground or velocity with like medium to like anywhere from low to high loads. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it should be about moving fucking weight. And you know what? Like his arch is not perfect. And that's kind of okay. You know what I mean? Like we will attack that arch with different exercises later.
That's the thing. I actually read about that because one of my coworkers, she's like, she commented on someone on Instagram, like they were like doing a deadlift, and she's like, they were putting out like pretty good weights, and she's like, awesome work, you know. But then like someone roasted her, they're saying like, really awesome work, though, but look at the way they're doing. Like, can't you see like this, like they're getting their hips up too fast, and they're like, but it's like, you know, sure you can kind of work on that, but again, it's like fucking Instagram. Like, give the person some praise for fucking moving
Right.
some great weight, and then you can address that later on.
Yeah.
It's you know, but I feel people are just like people don't understand that. You know, they just want to whenever they had the opportunity to just sit there and like kind of no, we need to correct
Yeah.
this, we need to work on this. Like they're like sure,
Yeah.
but really though, do we really need to do that right now? Like
Yeah. I
it's
mean, yeah, that like I don't know if you were on the team for this, but like that happened at Iron Sports like um man, for probably first semester my junior year, first semester your senior year. Like, you know, it was when we had Alex Simon on the team. And like I mean,
oh
dude, that kid's back is so jacked up. And
yeah
like, you know, like he was tight. Like he was restricted. And so like I was really happy that he only missed depth on squat by like 3 inches.
yeah
You know what I
yeah
mean? And like him deadlifting off the floor was like just like a no go.
yeah
And having him like rack pull, oh my god, like it looked so much better.
mm,
And I mean, having really all those kids rack pull and RDL actually instead of doing
yeah
deadlifts was like way better.
yeah
And I remember like I posted something from our max out week, right? And like, you know, and I mean, I think like of the 5 kids that were like even maxing out that week, like three cut it high, right? But like by, and I'm not talking like they were like here and then went
yeah
back up. Like they came to like here
yeah
and went
yeah
back up. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, who fucking cares? Like it's not a powerlifting meet. Like,
exactly
you know, I was like, whatever. And dude, I got so much shit for that. It like wasn't even funny. I mean, like, I got into a war with a chiropractic student about it. Like, so, oh my God, it was just the stupidest thing ever. And like, this kid wouldn't stop. Like, it was just ridiculous. And like, you know, and like, I only posted like the big lifts on the Iron Sports account. Like, and people didn't see, like, we did like a bunch of single leg work. We did a bunch of like full depth squatting with like, and I mean, like, you should have, I mean, like, dude, I just remember like, it really illustrated to me the point of like changing load, like changes like center of gravity and bone structure, or not bone structure, but bone orientation in the body. Like, because like Alex Simon, who, I mean, struggled to hit depth with a back squat, I would be like, all right, we're going to do a 2 kettlebell front rack, regular squat, no heels elevated. That kid would go ass to grass. Like, like
yeah
nothing,
yeah it is.
you know,
No,
like
but I remember you telling this though, like, but that's what I mean. Like I said, when people have the chance, they want to. Like they just want to kind of go in and like say these things. It's like there's no need for it, man. Like you don't know the
Right.
fucking story behind it. Like you don't know what's going really on. So
Yeah, I mean, it was just, yeah, it
dude,
was just ridiculous. And like,
fucking chiropractors, man.
oh my God, they're the worst. But you know, and like, and that's the thing is like you know, I'm really biased towards Michelle Boland because Michelle Boland and I are
Homies.
friends, and like she was my first internship coordinator and all that stuff, and I learned an absurd amount from her. But it's like while we were recording her like exercise database this last summer, she said something to me that was like really profound, which was that she, you know, she loved the intensive and Bill Hartman and all this stuff and like, you know, PRI, but like at some point you have to put a fitness quality over like whatever you're trying to do, right? Like, you know, it's great if they have, you know, like the most perfect like posterior mediastinum expansion. They have, you know, they have like this perfect like PRI position, right? And they're totally neutral and they're, you know, and they're shifted into a hip or whatever. And like that's great, but like nothing else is happening,
Uh,
right? Like their heart rate's not elevated.
uh,
You know, they're not using their sympathetic system. Like they're not like, you know, none of the great stuff we learn about is like happening
uh,
with them in terms of like fitness.
yeah.
And like people aren't coming to you to be like neutral and like able to like alternate and reciprocate and like move pressure and like fluid and whatever the fuck else Bill Hartman says. Like they're coming to you to get fit. And like you can layer the stuff that Hartman teaches and layer the stuff that PRI teaches on top of like fitness qualities, and that's fantastic.
Uh,
But like there has to be a fitness quality associated with that.
yeah. Totally, man.
And like people don't fucking realize that. Anyways, my rant is over.
No, but it's true though, because I remember you also saying that we're, I think it's also a bit hard, but like just like in general, where it's, you know, even with Pat Days and something, like you listen to them and it's like, it sounds all good like that, but you should also take a step back and kind of look at it like, really though, like, is this really that important or is it really that
Hmm.
good? You know, so it's like, don't just take it because everyone's just taking it or because it's like the trend right now. So, but it's like, it's so easy though, because, you know, so you hear like someone you maybe followed for a long time and there's like this, just, it totally makes sense and you know, even you might even try and it makes sense to you as well, like it works, you know. But it's like it doesn't. Then just because it works for you, it doesn't really. Again, like it works for everybody, and it's like the way to go with that specific person. So,
Right.
but yeah, but I definitely agree with you though. The Bill Hartman, like first discovering him, like holy fuck, this is all just like very mind breaking. Like I don't even
Right.
understand how this shit, you know. But then I listen more and more and like try like how am I supposed to try and implement this with someone like trying to explain to them you know it's like they're not
Right.
gonna care they're not gonna care at all. They just care about, you know, maybe doing a chin up for the first time in their life or losing weight. Like they don't really give a
Right.
fuck about anything else that I'm gonna throw at them. So it's like I just have to get them to move. I just
Yeah.
need to get them to like enjoy moving weights and like enjoying that like fitness. I don't need to fucking tell them like, oh, like this is the breathing pattern that you want to achieve and just to open up your rib cage. And I'm like,
Right.
they don't really need that and they don't care about that. They're just like, I feel like they might just look at you like, it's the crickets. It's gonna be
Right.
cricket. They're like, yeah, we'll see you. I'm gonna choose a different, you know,
Yeah.
personal trainer or whatever.
Yeah. I think like people just like don't realize that like PRI and the Hartman stuff are for like the 1%. Like
Yeah.
PRI is for the 1% of people who like have seen everyone else and you know, like, hey, if you have tendonitis in your knee, like chronic tendonitis, and you go and like Graston works, then Graston works.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And like maybe you get Graston treatments every month for the next, you know, 3 years.
yeah.
And eventually you're just like, okay, this has gone from a 6 in the pain scale to a 2, and I don't really need this anymore, you know?
Mm,
And that's your quality of life. Like, but maybe, you know, you have like horrendous low back pain and you've seen everyone else and people want to give you surgery even though they don't know what's in there and like they just can't figure stuff out and then you go to someone who practices PRI and like they are able to get you into neutrality and then shift you
mm,
like then right like that's like the 1%, like someone has been dealing with chronic low back pain for 5 years of an unknown cause and an unknown origin, and it was just their pattern,
Yeah.
and like they just weren't able to deal with their pattern, and that's fine, but like I just and like same thing with the Hartman stuff, like it's getting a pitcher from who's throwing 98 at an elite level to throw 101 at an elite level through better accessibility to external rotation, internal rotation,
It wasn't clear.
and
No.
keeping all that stuff. Like it's for 1%ers. It's not for everyday dudes who just like need to lose some weight.
Yeah. Oh man. It's life is good.
Yeah.
I think this is a good place to stop. Maybe.
I think so too.
I'm glad you think so too.
I think we did a good job this episode. As per usual, you carried me. Shout out to my dad.
Yeah, I want to shout out to my own dad, Dan Morrissey. I love you. What is this?
Oh,
I don't want it. And also a big shout out to Jack Daniels.
for keeping everyone sane during these crazy times.
What?
Specifically, Jack Daniels honey.
Yeah, specifically Jack Daniels honey. Yeah, for the people safe, and like that. Not even just safe, sane. That's the word I'm looking for. And shout out to all the wives for also keeping. Well, actually, not even keeping people. I think shout out for the wives for annoying their husbands, so keeping them on their toes. And also a big shout out to Miami, Florida, for giving all the spring breakers a good time, as always,
Oh my
every year.
God.
So, yeah, but thank you once again for listening to this episode. This has been your hosts, Dan and Declan Morrissey's 2 R's and 2 S's. And until next time.
Yes, man.